10 of the greatest unsolved mysteries ever, strange unsolved mysteries of all time. There are many unsolved mysteries in life, even though science, technology, and research have come a very long way. Although we may demand illogical explanations for these mysterious things, as of now we will have to settle with mere speculations. Until these mysteries are resolved, here are 10 of the greatest unsolved mysteries ever. The Taos hum. In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, there is a certain buzz often heard on the horizon that can be compared to the sound of a distant diesel engine. Although it can be heard by the naked ear, various sound detection devices are not able to pick it up. This is known as the Taos hum, and up to this day, no one still knows how this sound is being created. Voynich manuscript. This remarkable illustrated codex was discovered by Polish book dealer Wilfred M. Voynich, who discovered it in an Italian monastery in 1912. The Voynich manuscript is generally considered the world's most mysterious tome due to its handwritten, coded text. The often bizarre illustrations on its vellum pages reveal the manuscript to be a pharmacopoeia on early modern medicine, including plants, cosmological charts, and other topics. Carbon dating places the creation of the Voynich manuscript in the early 15th century, but some researchers estimate that it could be older. Jack the Ripper. In 1888, Jack the Ripper killed at least 5 women in London, mutilating their bodies. A number of letters, supposedly from the Ripper, were sent to police taunting officers' efforts to find the Ripper. The name Jack the Ripper comes from these letters. Needless to say, the Ripper was never found, and over the years, dozens of people have been brought up as possible candidates. A recent book suggested that a woman named Lizzie Williams was the Ripper, although other Ripper experts cast doubt on it. Kryptos. Just outside the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, you will behold a statue that has coded encryptions on its surface. This very captivating sculpture was created by Jim Sanborn to show that everything can be resolved and decoded with the use of patterns and clues. Of the 4 inscription sections that were included, only the first 3 have been cracked. But the 4th? Not even the brilliant minds in the CIA were able to get to the bottom of it. Stonehenge. This circular, prehistoric stone formation stands in England is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Carbon dating and related methods point to construction somewhere between 3000 and 2000 BC. With each block weighing several tons, it is unclear how and why people moved these boulders. It is unclear why it was built. Archaeologists point to the formation's alignment to the sunset of the winter solstice as evidence of astronomical applications. Other clues include signs of potential worship, nearby evidence of warm water springs, and a burial mound at the center with bones dating from 3000 BC. Aluminum wedge of Aiud. Back in 1974, a group of workers in Romania discovered 3 different objects 10 meters deep in a sand trench. 2 of the items were prehistoric elephant bones that have been dated as old as 2.5 million years ago. The 3rd object, however, is an aluminum wedge that was found together with the ancient bones. This discovery dumbfounded most researchers, as aluminum was difficult to create even by 19th century standards. While some call it evidence of extraterrestrials, others are calling it a hoax. Green children. In the Kingdom of Suffolk under the reign of King Stephen in England, 2 children were discovered in the village of Woolpit by farmers reaping their summer harvests who were unlike the ordinary children they'd met before and didn't seem of their world or kind, with green hue to their skins and clothes of an unknown material, speaking an undecipherable language. They only ate pitch of the bean pot, and the boy died later of sickness. The girl survived to tell the story of how they were underground inhabitants of Earth where everyone was green and the sun never came up. They were lost in a tunnel grazing their father's cattle when they heard the bells of Woolpit Church ring, which they followed. Their story bears its testimony in the books that were written thereafter and in artifices stored in the London Museum. Dancing plague. Frautrophia. a resident of Strasbourg, suddenly took to dancing on the street in July 1518. Soon she was joined by others, all dancing uncontrollably. Within a month, 400 people were dancing in the city, and many of them died from exhaustion and heart attacks. The dancing plague of 1518, as it came to be known, had completely died down by the mid-17th century. It's unknown whether it was a real illness or social phenomenon of some kind. Bermuda Triangle. Various ships and airplanes have gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle, which is located in the North Atlantic Ocean. The earliest article published about a disappearance was in Associated Press in 1950. Although several studies and researchers have claimed that the stories revolving around the Devil's Triangle are false, it remains a great piece of geographical mystery till date. Lost City of Atlantis. The city of Atlantis has been imagined as the crowning city of Neptune, where mermaids and mermen live. But based on what Plato has discussed during his time, specifically with his two dialogues Timaeus and Critias, it specifically mentioned the existence of Atlantis based on the stories being heard during the journeys, and how Atlantis was in its prime state, thus giving a clue that the place did exist, as Plato was a real entity. Now that it's sunk into the deep, many are still wondering if it is real, knowing that there are certain objects underwater that may be the remnants of this once beautiful